Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet?
I love people as I meet them one by one. People are just wonderful as individuals. You see the whole...
My great aspiration, my greatest ambition is to be so good. Now, in that way, I'm tiresome, as I suppose, to live with, because I want to be a fantastic human being.
I am the greatest.
We're not disputing that, Cassius, but how does Sonny Liston feel about it?
He can't feel but one way, and let's take everything I say and like it. Because February the 25th, I'm going to take back my job. I'm the champ. He's no champ. He's a tramp.
When you see men fall, don't laugh. Learn. Learn. Because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation.
What up, YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, IG, fucking Instagram, Twitch, wherever you are, man. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Peace, blessings, glory, praise, and honor. I don't know where you're watching from, but I'm grateful that you're watching. I'm probably going to be one of the most consistent and the most relentless streamers on social media before this year's out. Mark my words. Before that bill and that clock strikes, yeah, you have my word, Lord willing. If he puts breath in my body and he permits me to keep doing this, yeah, you're going to see a lot of me. And I mean a lot. Shout outs to everybody in the building. Shout outs to my writers, my poets, my content creators. You know the drill. I always give my flowers out to the people. Shout out to Rob. Shout out to Sydney. Shout out to Jason. Shout out to Knight. Shout out to OTC. Shout out to the whole panel, the whole fam, man. All love. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all make the show what it is. If y'all was here yesterday, I'm about to chop up that whole stream. We damn near did 3 hours. That was a lot, man. I'm trying to tell you. We talked about Shannon. We talked about Gilbert Arenas. We talked about the T-App. We covered damn near 4 different subjects. Great show, great show. Make sure y'all tap in over there on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, go subscribe to the channel right now. The most unpolitical, most unsolicited platform. You see the title. We're going to get into it. We're absolutely going to talk about it. Only the way I know how. From the bottom of my heart. No intentions, no side motives, nothing. It's just going to be me, you, the general public, and just some heart to heart, man. Fuck all of the trying to cover up and make things sound pretty. for the general people, so we protect feelings and emotions. Nah, we're not about to do that. We're not. So I'm gonna pull up a video. Some of y'all already seen this. Like if you're on TikTok watching this, you've probably already seen this. If you're watching from anywhere else, this might be brand new to you. Hopefully YouTube don't come on me. Pause. What I meant was the video that I'm going to play is kind of graphic. Like it's not too bad, but there's a little blood in it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got stabbed. I mean, a number of people got stabbed, but in this clip, you see somebody injured holding the side of their torso, and you can see the blood kind of on the side of them. So I might try to fast forward through it just so I don't get in trouble for that shit. You know how this place is, man. They hella petty. When you get your camera turned on, I'll bring you up, sir. Yeah. It's disappointing. It's heartbreaking. It's unfortunate that you can't even go grocery shopping. You can't go anywhere in public anymore than just do what you normally would do. Buy your stuff, your groceries, your laundry detergent, just normal everyday things, and you run into something like this. Like life is really unpredictable. You really don't know what you're going to get when you leave out that front door. You got to be prayed up at all times. At all times. So this is what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna bring this video up to the screen. I'm gonna play it, and if I get to the point where it look like it's too graphic, I'll try to speed past it a little bit so that I can honor the community guidelines, and then we'll just jump into the topic itself. Sound good? Cool. I got somebody in the building. He in the studio, but for some reason he don't like to turn his camera on. I don't know if he think he being fashionably late. I don't get it. I'm not bringing him up until his camera on. But let me get this on the screen real quick. Now this is probably like, matter of fact, it ain't probably. This is the aftermath. They've already got the man by gunpoint. They're getting ready to arrest him. But you see some people confronting the guy, and then you see a couple of pedestrians trying to assist the guy. Well, at least one of them who got stabbed. And it's like, damn, man, you can't go nowhere. You just can't do nothing without looking over your shoulder. I would have really loved to know how this started. 11 people stabbed. What was the motivation? What could possibly be going through somebody's mind to say, oh, I'm going to go to the mall today and I'm just going to take my weapon of choice and then I'm just going to start just randomly stabbing, and I don't know. Nonetheless, let me go ahead and play this video.
Throw the knife that way. Throw it away. Throw it away. Hey, he hasn't dropped it. Put it down.
Yeah, that part. Yeah. I ain't YouTube, you ain't about to fuck with me.
Dude, I don't know.
There's like several people stabbed. Oh my God.
That's the clip. I tried to speed past like the real bloody part of that because, again, you know how YouTube is. What's going on, man?
Yeah, another day, man. Another day. Last night, was a banger for sure. We went out and said we had to say with Gilbert Arenas, the Shannon Sharp, man. Check that out. But yeah, I heard a lot. I heard a lot and I learned a lot. What's up with you?
You already know, man. I'm here for the real spill. I mean, 11 people stabbed. 11 people stabbed. And it's like, damn, man. Be honest with you, this shit is every day. You can't get away from it. There's no escaping it. It's either somebody is being inappropriately touched on by a teacher, somebody then got shot over sleeping with somebody else's partner. It's some LGBTQ community bullshit. Somebody getting stabbed. It's always one or the other. It's always something like that. Can't avoid it.
Well, I also saw something about somebody getting shot for doing a damn kick the door prank. Kicking somebody's door prank, and then they leave, and somebody came out and shot the teenager. So they didn't know who, they didn't know what was going on. They just looked at it like somebody was trying to break in. They heard a bang, man, and got their gun and shot. You see what I'm saying? You can't. It was a prank. It was designed as a prank, but that's just another example of what be happening out here. So, and it was teenagers. So, parents, you love your kids, man. You need to talk to them about pranks and situations like that because everybody not playing. As that situation played out, whoever the owner was wasn't playing. So.
So let me ask you a question. How do we get here? You know what I'm saying? You go to the mall, you go to a Walmart, you go to just a gas station. This individual, I don't know I don't know what his issue was. I don't know if he had beef with somebody there. I don't know if he had a bad day. Maybe he ain't get no pussy or something that day. I don't know what it was. But he decided to stab up people. What is that? Like, when you saw this for the first time and you heard the story, because you shared it with me, man, what was like your initial thoughts on that shit?
I mean, when I first saw the video and tried to analyze it and break it down, pretty much I was really just trying to see the motive. You know, that's what hit me first. Like, okay, 11 people got stabbed. You know, why did he do that? Or how could that come about? So, from what they said, man, the man 42 years old, and did this. He definitely was having a bad day. he didn't really get an exact motive on why he stabbed so many people at that Walmart. But what I can say, we're gonna charge it to the mental health. Um, we talk about it all the time. This is just another case of it, and it was another tragedy. And I don't think all 11 people died. I don't think they died, but they got some injuries, bro. He had a pocket knife, and he was hitting people at will in there. So that's what I was trying to figure out at first. Why did he do it? What was the motive?
So here's my thing, right? Because mental health is important. I don't think we have enough conversations about that. And to me, I don't really care. Let me rephrase this. I have empathy, but also the things that's going on in my life is not going to ever put me in a position where I'm going to crash out on anybody else. Like if I'm having a bad day, I caught my wife in bed with somebody, or I got let go, or whatever. It's nothing that's going to drive me to snap on innocent people. That's for starters. Secondly, if you know that this person has a diagnosis, because like you just said, you're not even sure the real true motives behind it. I'm not sure about the true motives behind it. But hypothetically speaking, if this person has these severe issues going on and it's a medical problem, how is it that nobody that is associated with him, with this gentleman, like you're not associated with him, you're not following him, you're not monitoring him? Is he on medications? um because like what I'm looking at is a regular 40 plus year old guy who was smart enough and capable enough to get in his vehicle, gas it up, get dressed, go to his destination for whatever purposes he had without any assistance. It's not like that man needed a bodyguard or some type of nanny to follow him around 24 hours a day. I didn't get that from him. So are we blaming or saying that this was a mental issue, that he just broke down and he had a bad day? So, oh, you had a bad day, that gives you the right to go around and snap on everybody else because of the shit you got going on? Is that what we're talking about? Because if you're saying, oh, this man just had a bad day and he was within his rights to just crash out on motherfuckers, then I can accept that. I can't eat that one at all. Everybody go through shit. Everybody has one of them days where they really want to snap, but they know they can't. Because for one, it's not the right thing to do. Two, those are your problems. That's your life. You the one who chose that path. You gotta walk that. They don't have nothing to do with the things that are transpiring or being unveiled before you. That's yours. You keep that with you and take it wherever it needs to go in a healthy way. You take that in an environment where you can get help for it. You go to somebody that can actually assist you in what is troubling you in your soul. That's not for the public. I yield the mic.
Yeah, man. I was gonna ask you, what could you imagine being in that Walmart? You one of those pedestrians. I mean, you in there shopping, of course. You know, you buying whatever you gonna buy, and you witness a motherfucker do that. You know what I'm saying? That gotta. I mean, if you look at it from that scope, that gotta be frightening, bro. Like you ain't know that was gonna happen, and you around somebody that's literally poking people in the store, and in your mind, you know what I'm saying, you can be next. So what behoove me out of the whole situation, because we all talking about mental health, and you know some people's brains be splattered all over the place. Um, I'm looking at how it was handled. That's a red flag. Um, you stabbed 11 people. It was 11, and you mean to tell me you you made it out into the parking lot unscathed? Now the man that you showed in that video, uh, he was holding them for the police. But just like that woman in with that McDonald's, how she stabbed up that manager, that was foul. But what I'm saying is, when you do something like that, you know, you every action is a reaction. And for 11 people, a count of 11 people got stabbed, you know, that man supposed to be number 12. That's all I'm going to say on that. He supposed to be number 12. And a lot of situations have got handled that way. Let me put that on the table. You know, you go through, you have a nervous breakdown, or you know what I'm saying, you he was a whole crash out to do that. And when you crash out like that, you know, we put the fire out. You know, you burn it out on people. So somebody should have came up on him, like my man with the dreads, and left him there. You know, it would have been understood. You gotta you This man has stabbed 11 people. If anything, I did society a favor. Mind you, we don't know his motive. Only thing we can say is that when it comes to problems and situations in life in general, we can honestly say, looking at this story, that everybody don't have the same approach, my G. They don't. They don't respond the same to something happening. They don't have it together. Now, could we say that he had a chemical imbalance? Could we say that maybe the man needed a little counseling before that even happened? We could say all of that. But at the end of the day, once you once you take those actions the way he took it, yeah, he needed to be number 12 to me. You don't get away stabbing 11 innocent people and you ain't 12. That's all. That's just how I look at it. Like, you can't. Them people, you don't know none of them people, and not to mention not just the 11, but the people that he didn't touch. Even the people that he didn't stab was victims. I mean, if I'm standing in there and I'm witnessing something like that, I'm a victim. I shouldn't have so nothing like that. People on the ground holding themselves bleeding. Like, I didn't come to the store for that. So that's why I look at it. That's how I look at it, bro. Like, if you crash out like that, then somebody need to come over and put the fire out. That's all.
I think right now at this juncture of the conversation, we're talking about what is called for and what is unnecessary use of a weapon to protect yourself and the people around you. because I'm looking at what you're saying, and I understand completely that this can possibly and potentially be a life or death situation. If you're asking me right now, if I'm in a Walmart and someone just starts randomly stabbing people up, I have a registered weapon that I can use to protect myself and the public to de-escalate any further damage or harm that's going to come to other people or myself. Will I use it? If I have to, I would. Now, what I think you're talking about is putting him down permanently, in which case I disagree with. See, you can de-escalate a situation without. If this is all right, put it this way: if dude had a gun and he was shooting people, then that's one thing. It's definitely going to be me over you, 100%. He has a pocket knife. Dude, you can shoot him in the leg. You can shoot him in the ass. You can shoot him anywhere on his person and bring him down. And that's it. You stop them. You can get them cuffed. You can get them to the ambulance in the hospital, and then you can have that man held accountable in a court of law. Yeah, he was white. Will he get the same level of justice that a black person would have got if it was that? We don't know. What I do know is there are certain levels of threat that you move according to, and in that particular situation, you don't kill this man, because you could. I don't think in this instance he would have gotten away with it. For some odd reason, I think black man kills white man, even though the white man done stabbed 11 people. It's going to look like, well, shit, the white guy, unless the white guy is running towards him and he shoots and kills him, like if he's going like this with a thrusting motion with the knife and you shoot him, I can see that. But if you shoot this man and he's going in the opposite direction of you, like trying to run away from you, or his back is turned against you, they're not going to look at that shit the same way. They always twist the laws and the rules for some people. Me and Jason did a show on people who was doing this prank shit. I think it was 3 white kids, if I'm not mistaken. These 3 white kids was in a neighborhood kicking on doors, pranking and shit. They rolled up to a black man house, and he came, confronted, opened his door. They ran away. Their back was turned away from the dude. The dude shot and he killed them. And he got charged with murder for it, because the argument was they weren't a threat. Why? Because their back was turned away from them. So, like, this is one of them situations where it's like, you got to know when and where. You got to really be a responsible gun owner. You can't just have a gun and think because you have a gun, that's the end of it. There's certain responsibilities you have with it once you are unholstering that weapon. So, I mean, that's where I stand at with it. I wouldn't have killed them. I would definitely would have put them down to where the staff or whoever was involved could do what they had to do moving forward. Because I don't have hatred in my heart enough to just, I'm not going to, first of all, I'm not just going to shoot you just to be shooting you. My nigga, you in here fucking tripping, man. like you stabbing people and shit. Yeah, you definitely gotta, because I know damn well. I know there's brave people out here. I don't know about y'all. I know there's people who will jump in and try to apprehend them and try to like, but most people are not about to just, oh, I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna grab his arm and I'm gonna grab his leg, knowing this man got a knife and he could stab you. A lot of people are not gonna do that. So it's like my man with the gun, he did right. He didn't try to run and get away, and then he had people with him. So I mean, that's kind of where I stand with it. I don't know. I yield the mic.
Yeah, and that be the issue right there. Um, the way you said that the laws is twisted, and the way you said it would have been handled much differently, because it would have. So if you flip the script, and we do this often. If we flip the script, and let's just say the guy that stabbed 11 people was black. Let's just say he was black, and he stabbed 11 people, and he made it to the parking lot with the weapon in his hand. Could you honestly say he would have been held up at gunpoint to like that situation went? I don't think so. I think if he stabbed 11 people, innocent people, same scenario, I think they put him down. That's what I think would have happened, because black people have been put down with a lot less threat than that, and they've been put down. So, and I'm not even gonna say it would have been the officer. It could have been a pedestrian. They would have, just like that situation. They would have probably cheered the dude on. Told him he was a hero. He saved the day. So that's what I'm getting at. Like, it ain't, the goalposts have been moved again. You know what I'm saying? So nah, I don't agree with that. I think, you stab 11 people, something got to be wrong upstairs. So getting killed, you being number 12, that's, you supposed to protect society. He was in danger of society because it was kids. It had to be kids around there. You doing that in front of kids, stuff like that. So yeah, you don't belong in society when you do stuff like that. Sorry. And putting somebody down, like if you got a weapon on you, and I'm in that position and I have a weapon, I'm gonna put his ass down. Why would I let 11 people get stabbed up and all of that, and I know I got a weapon that can sit them down, stop them from doing that? It don't have to be towards me. Like I said, kids is around. Everybody is a victim at that point. And no, I don't think a pedestrian would have ran up and tried to grab him unarmed. It was not going to happen, because they could have been another stabbed person on the ground. I don't think that would have happened. But what I am going to say, whatever the mental health this brother got, you know what I'm saying, you can't force somebody from blowing out the rest of his brain that he got working. Because that right there is not normal. That right there was not called for, and ain't nobody in the store deserved that. Bottom line, whatever the issue was. So yeah, I think he should have been put down. And as far as them people that got stabbed, I don't look at it like if he had a gun, because you can die from a stab wound too. If you stab me, you trying, it's a threat to kill me. So I'm gonna take it like I gotta put you down because you came at me. You know what I'm saying? Trying to put me down. and I can't allow innocent pedestrians. If you're a good citizen and you can do something about it, do something about it. You don't let nobody um, cause ruckus around the area, and you are, you know, a good Samaritan. You know what I'm saying? That's something you're supposed to do. So to me, that man would have been all in his right to blow that man away. We can bring up Mr. Rodney Henson. You know what I'm saying? His son. This man was running. His back was turned. You said it. You just said it. I would have shot him in the leg. Did that officer shoot him in the leg? You know, I don't think so. So I mean, yeah, we can pick and choose, you know, how we want to de-escalate a situation, but in the heat of the moment, no, it doesn't. It does not play out that way. When it's actually going down, it goes down. And most of the time, when you stab at somebody or somebody has a weapon that's causing harm, people is going to think life or death. And when it's life or death, like you said, it's going to always be them before it's you if you can do something about it. That's just how it is. You don't. People always say what they'll do until they in them shoes. So ain't nobody perfect. I'm not saying you got to be perfect, but stabbing 11 people is not perfect. I'm gonna say that stabbing 11 people is not perfect, and it should be handled accordingly. And anybody that was a witness to that, black or white, I'm gonna say, because there was some other people out there, was also capable of putting that man down. Hey, that's just the way it is. I mean, you can't let an outrage get wild like that in your surroundings. You know what I'm saying? That's your surroundings. You know what I mean? You can be next. Shit, you can be next if you don't do nothing. So yeah, we gotta stand up for a situation, man. That man would have been all in his right to shoot that man for what he did. And would have changed? Would have made a difference if he? What if he would have stabbed the kid? Like I said, the kid was in there. What if he would have stabbed the kid? Would have changed the outcome? Would you would have shot him then? Like what if he would have stabbed the old lady? You don't know who the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Everybody he stabbed wasn't his age. This man just stabbing people. So that's not normal. Which causes a reaction, and the reaction is somebody he shouldn't have got to 11. I'm gonna just put it to you like that. Ain't no way you get to 11.
You know why this is so difficult for a lot of folks, and I know, you know, this don't really sit well, and this probably ain't gonna be the most popular opinion here, but with all of the racist rhetoric and what if it was this, I don't go off for hypotheticals. I'm not about to sit here and compare apples and oranges. I'm here in the present, and what I'm looking at had nothing to do with a scenario where it was a black person with the knife and a white person with the gun. That's not what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a gentleman who clearly got some shit going on with him. We have an opportunity to de-escalate a situation without actually taking the life of another person and still hold them accountable for their actions. You look at what you said, and I look at what you said, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, you know, you have a fair point. Nobody really is going to look at that and say, well, shit, this motherfucker was out here stabbing people. It was either we allow him to keep doing it and potentially kill more people, or we stop him from never doing it again. Or we stop him We get them put behind bars, get them some type of help, get him held accountable for his actions. And I think what you're getting at more or less is like shit, an eye for an eye. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. The only way I could see me possibly killing that man is if it was like absolutely necessary. Like absolutely necessary. I don't want to have. I think people think that just taking a life is just easy. You got to live with that shit for the rest of yours. I don't want to play God. I don't want to sit up here and act like I'm God or I am the final judge and juror over somebody's fate. It's not my decision to decide whether or not you spend the rest of your life in heaven or hell, or if you get gunned down here or not. Would a black person get the same treatment? Probably not. Is it right? No, it's not. But I don't have to be you. I don't have to play this. Oh, you would have did it, so I'm gonna do it too. I'm bigger than that. I don't have to move like that because God is the one that's going to be the real vindicator here at the end of the day. That's why I say, like, my perspective ain't really popular. But see, I think you can look at this two different ways, and it's like, all right, well, I understand your point. I understand their point. Maybe you don't get my point, which is fine. But like I said, you can have a gun and be an owner, and you probably had a couple of little target practice things going on. That don't mean nothing. You don't know what you're going to do when you're in that situation. You got to decide right now what's going to happen. The way that I watched the video, my man, he saw the gun put on him, and he did what? He backed up. He backed away. He wasn't engaging anymore. At that point, you've already controlled the situation. But I guess the problem is it's uncertain. Yeah, he's backing up. Yeah, you got a gun on him. He's probably like, man, I ain't trying to get shot. But you're thinking, like I would be thinking, is this person really going to give up, or is he trying to pick an opportunity to probably stab me, knowing I got a gun? He could easily just try to charge at me, and you know what I'm saying, and try to snatch this out of my hand. That I could understand that too. But based on what I just watched, they apprehended him. And if you want to reverse the role and play this scenario, and it's a black person, and the black person, well, first of all, there's no guarantee that that man would have got shot because he was black. But he could easily have gotten shot too. I'm not going to sit here and act like that's not a thing. It still wouldn't have made it right. It's one of them. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Are we going to be upset with this? Are we mad at the black man for not shooting a white person? Let's go ahead and just get that shit out the way. Are we basing this off of the black man had a chance to get back at a white dude, so shoot the white man because you're black, and this is just your opportunity to shoot a white person? Or is it really more about justice and bringing that man in front of a jury and having them handled it the way they're supposed to be? Is this about the law, or is this about your own personal vendetta? Are you at the mic?
Yeah, man. Let's see, well, I wanted to touch on a few points. One, let me say this to you. This is not about um, race per se. I brung that up, but it's not directly pointed towards that. But the thing is, it's about a right or wrong thing. And I brung up the thing with the McDonald's because I also I also agree that woman that was violently stabbing that lady in there, same scenario, and she's black. I wouldn't have been against the dude shooting her. He did shoot in the air to try to stop her from doing it, but she was committing a murder, my dude. And if you can stop or save that woman's life, yeah, I'm gonna say shoot her. That's what I'm gonna say. Shoot her. And it's about saving. It was about saving somebody's life in that. In that situation right there, yeah, you got to save somebody's life. You make the call. But when we go back to this, if you look at that video, because I was looking at the black guy with the gun pointed at the man with the knife, and for one, the man had the damn knife in his hand, bro. Like he was holding him that gun, telling him to take it out of his hand. But if you pay attention, like he holding a gun on him, it was really supposed to be like a one-on-one thing. You know what I'm saying? He holding him. Notice how a crowd got around him. You know, it looked like they were supporting him, but it also looked like they was protecting the dude that committed the crime. Because the black man had the gun in his hand. You see what I'm saying? And no, I don't believe that that the man should have just shot him up and all of that like that. But I brought that up to say, people gotta be aware of everything, man. When somebody doing something wrong, you have to react to that. You can't sit back and allow somebody to go crazy, and like I said, innocent lives was taken and stuff like that. That stuff you gotta have a reaction to that, bro. That's my point. You can't sit back and allow all these innocent people to be taken, and then when it comes down to it, like I brought up in the beginning, we talk about mental health. Oh, he's crazy. Oh, he's insane. You know what I'm saying? But if you flip the script, we gonna shoot this nigga. Nah, we're not gonna move. We're not gonna move the goalpost. We're gonna get the same. We're gonna get the same treatment, or none at all. Bottom line. Now, that woman, like I said, that woman in that McDonald's, yeah, she was going for it, and yeah, I would have shot her because she wasn't gonna stop. So I would agree to use some force with her too. But we not gonna sit here and act like that it's been less force, less of a threat. That's what I meant to say. Less of a threat in these two cases that we're talking about, and the force was double when it was on the other side. And we're not gonna sit here and act like that's not the case because it happened over and over. So with that being said, the man is serving. I think he's serving what? a possible life sentence. He's serving a possible life sentence. Um, people got a lot of stab wounds, and they possibly could have lost their life. So yeah, they gonna put the man away and all of that. But I'm just saying, you know, we're not gonna have a blind eye to the obvious. We're not gonna do that. We've seen it over and over. And he did, like I say, he didn't shoot the man, but he would have been in his right to shoot him. Because who else, like you said, he could have got on him and shot him or stabbed him. And that's another thing when I was looking at the crowd, because I'm like, that was the opening right there. The man didn't put the knife down. Had that man been black, they would have shot him. They're not gonna sit here and take the pedestrians away. If that man was black and he had that knife in his hand and they aimed it, they would have shot him. All day, every day. You got a weapon in your hand, and like you said, you need to be coming at him like this. He need to be no. That's not why they get shot. They get shot because I gave you a command. I told you to put the knife down, and you didn't put the knife down. So when you didn't put the knife down, I shot you because at that point you're a threat. You're not listening. And did that man or did that man not tell him drop the knife? Drop it. He told him drop the knife. And when he didn't drop it, okay, you get what you get. You're a threat. You know what I'm saying? If you stab, think about it. If that man stabbed 11 people and you got the gun on him, I'm not sitting to be number 12. It's not gonna happen. You either drop the knife or you already did stabbed up 11 people. You either drop this damn knife or you going on the ground with them. Fuck that.
I think you gotta have a certain level of maturity and a understanding of the situation. Like, I'm not one of them people who studied body language and things of that nature, but I've watched enough. I'm not even gonna say, I was about to say CSI and shit like that, but where you have polygraph examiners and folks that professionally study liars, and even me and Jason did a show on body language, studying body language and determining if a person is lying to you, how you know if they're interested in you, and behavior patterns that kind of identify with if someone's really being receptive, engaging. That's a good show. Like, for anybody who is watching right now, based on this situation here, go back to that conversation we had, because this is one of them moments where you can't be thinking about race and your ego and your pride, and you have a real life human being standing in front of you. They're trying to decide whether or not they need to forfeit their life because they just pretty much ended it. You just sat here and stabbed up 11 people. Do you want to go to jail and spend the rest of your life behind bars? Or do you want to just get taken out right here? You got to understand certain situations call for you to be very tactful. That brother who was holding that man at gunpoint, he's probably thinking, this man is probably contemplating. Because how many of us have been in a situation, and shit, I just did a video where the man he killed his wife, he killed his baby mama because they both lied on him and said he was touching his kids. He stalked his wife, found her. He shot a live stream talking about why he was doing it, and then that was it. The man who was holding the gun towards the guy, he's probably like, man, this dude probably either is going to try to force me to kill him because he don't want to go to jail, or he's just too scared to force himself to get killed by me, so he's just going to surrender. Or it could have been a situation like that's what I'm saying. Like, would he have been justified to take him out? Probably. But you just don't never know, man. He spared him his life. He's probably going to spend the rest of his life behind bars because of his decisions. The people behind them prison walls are going to give him justice. He's going to spend the rest of his life behind bars paying for what he did. And then when God calls him home, he's going to have to answer for what he did. And at the end of the day, God is going to determine whether or not he's redeemable or not. That's the part that we as human beings, we tend to forget about when we're in life or death situations like this. What you're telling me is tit for tat. Now, you tell me if I'm wrong, but if I'm listening to you correctly, if you're the guy with the gun in your hand, oh no, matter of fact, scratch that. If you're the guy with the knife in your hand as a black person, and then the white guy has the gun towards you, you're thinking to yourself, all right, I know how this is going to play out. So if I'm the guy with the gun, I'm going to go ahead and shoot because you would have did it to me. That doesn't really sound like moral high ground. It doesn't even sound like you're really doing this out of a place of servitude, and I'm doing it because it has to be done. It sounds more or less like you're doing it because it's a white person. I wouldn't get the same treatment, so you're not going to get the same treatment. Fuck it. And that's the problem I have with it. Like, if you absolutely have to make this decision, it's going to have to be because it's the right thing to do, regardless. I don't give a fuck about racial profiling. Oh, they did it to us, so we should be able to do it to them. I don't look at it like that, because God ain't going to look at it like that. God's going to see it like you're just being petty. You're being petty. You're doing it from a place of grudge. And that's not what I want from you. I want you to handle this the way that I would handle it. And if you're in a position where you absolutely have to do it, make sure you're doing it because he's giving you the impression that he refuses to stop. And he's this black brother, he's assessing the situation like, dude is confused. He doesn't know if he wants to die or he wants to live, but he's giving me the impression that he wants to live. Otherwise, he would have came at me, and he would have came at everybody that was surrounding me when we were trying to apprehend him. So I'm not going to kill him. That's what I got from it. So I mean, to each his own. I know everybody is looking at this from a different perspective, but that's why we do this in the first place, so we have different points of views. I yield the mic though if you want to add anything.
Yeah, man. Like I was saying, because I had brought up the McDonald's chick too. Like I was trying to tell you that in a situation like that, yeah, you got to do what you got to do to prevent further damage and stuff like that. She's now if that woman came back in there and fought that woman, then okay, you know what I'm saying. Whether she beat the woman up or she beat her or however it went, it ended, that would have solved their problem. But when you bring a weapon involved, you have to think that put her at a disadvantage, and she was at a disadvantage. And what I'm saying is, just like the man in that Walmart, he put all them people as a disadvantage. You know what I'm saying? If you coming up with a weapon, whoever you stabbed was at a disadvantage. That's not cool, bro. You can be black, white, Chinese, purple, but if you got a weapon and that man held a gun to you, just like the other way around, like I had to use that analogy, you either drop that weapon or you face the consequences. I'm not gonna sit back and allow you to hold a weapon and be a possible threat to anybody else. So yeah, he could have shot him, but I'm not saying he could have just blew his brains out or something like that. But I'm saying he could have shot him. You know what I'm saying? Because he was a danger to the society, bro. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that was out in that parking lot could have got the same treatment. You don't know what you don't me or you. We started this whole thing off. Me or you don't know what was really in that man's head because they never bring it out. So when you don't know what's in somebody's head, then you can't take no chances, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can't take no chances. I look at that situation, that Walmart situation, just like the McDonald's. You got a black lady, you got a white man. See what I'm saying? The bottom line is both of them stab people. One of them stabbed somebody to death. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not up here saying that somebody need to watch or should have watched her stab that woman to death. They should have stopped it. They should have stopped her. If you had a chance to stop her, stop her. And what I mean by stopping her is if you had a weapon, I'm going to draw it on her, and if she don't stop, pop. Simple as that. If you don't stop, you get popped. And that's just how I see it because I'm looking at the innocent people that got killed. Like I said, I'm looking at whatever was in that man's mind to make him trigger. He crashed out, and I'm looking at the fact that that guy had a tranquilizer to prevent any more injury to anybody else. You see what I'm saying? So that's just where I stand with it. He could have popped him or take another risk. That's how I look at it. Now he got arrested and all that. That's good. He got arrested. But at that point, when he had that knife, like I said, I'm not taking no chances with somebody with a weapon. I'm gonna have to do what I got to do.
The difference for me with the whole McDonald's thing is, bro, they in McDonald's, man. They behind a counter. Ain't no who's going to work at McDonald's wondering if a person has a gun or a knife on them. Which is ironic though, because KFC, Popeyes, if I'm not mistaken, that was black on black. That shit is crazy, man. Folks coming into work with their stuff on them in these jobs. I don't know if it's out of the fact that you're working in hostile environments and it's not necessarily safe to work where you're at, or what. But with the girl from McDonald's, I think they could have actually jumped on her. Based on that video, they could have jumped on her and just, but you know, people, like I said, people really ain't gonna do that shit. Most at like in 2025, everybody just recording. Everybody just want to record and watch, and then post it on their social media and shit.
And then Shorty, you gotta think about it. Shorty was enraged, man, when she did that. So she was tripping about hours and all that. So like her co-workers ain't gonna approach her with that weapon. You know what I'm saying? All my whole point is it ain't black or white. It's a right or wrong thing, man. You ain't gonna be coming up to me like as a threat and thinking ain't nothing gonna happen, man. Now they was in the store or whatever, but it was somebody that was armed because what I'm saying is he did the same thing that Main Man did at this parking lot at the Walmart, but he could have, you know what I'm saying? He could have shot her. What I'm saying is in that situation, he could have shot that girl with the knife to prevent her from killing that woman. It was enough time to do that. That's what I'm saying. From the time that they started doing it, she stabbed her that many times. She could have shot that woman to stop her. And I'm saying if it was a pedestrian in that Walmart, they could have shot his ass to stop him from stabbing all these people. So that's how I break it down. Like you can't let stuff like that and just look at everybody get stabbed up or shot at. Like if you can prevent it, I mean I can't say nothing if you're not armed. You know what I'm saying? Nothing you can do. I'm not saying to do that, change your life like that, but if you got something on you to stop innocent people from getting hurt, then yeah, you take your chances. You do what you gotta do. Because like I said, I'm not gonna be number 12. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna sit here and let no innocent person get stabbed all up. Like that's crazy.
My last thoughts on this, man. This is one of them situations where this is probably the only time where you could have a weapon as a black person legally and use it and possibly not suffer for actually utilizing it. I'm not even saying that you wrong about your position on it. I think we both.
I'm saying that he could have. That was probably the thing, though. What you said that's probably the reason why he didn't utilize it. That's a shame. That speaks to the problem itself. If he didn't utilize it for the same reason that he know they could have utilized it, that's sad, bro.
Or he just knew how to use restraint, and it wasn't necessary. Why take a life if you don't have to? He didn't have to, and now the man is behind bars where he should be. It's unfortunate that people got hurt. It shouldn't have happened. In fact, I don't even know why is there security? Is no one not doing their job? Are you not really monitoring these locations the way that you should? No, you're not. Probably understaffed as well. Probably don't feel the need. I think after all these school shootings and all these incidences at restaurants, and I think they should have been took in consideration that they might want to implement some more safety measures for everybody. Especially now. If you don't do it now at this point, I don't know what the issue is. That's all I'm pretty much say about that. My thoughts and prayers go out to the families and everybody who is dealing with this. Nobody goes out shopping and living their life to deal with no crap like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I gotta say about it, man. If you want to say anything else before we go, you got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a tragedy. The whole situation was a tragedy on both parts, you know, because we're talking about innocent people, innocent lives getting taken and getting injured and stuff like that. And it's crazy, but it's like we got to. Me personally, I don't think that if the guy had a gun and let's say he shot 11 people, you see what I'm saying? I think that would move the goalpost a little bit. But I don't view it like that. I'm just saying if he had a gun or a knife, it's still the same to me. It's the same act. You know what I'm saying? You gotta protect yourself, and you gotta keep your eyes open because, like I say, this stuff is happening in restaurants. This stuff is happening in schools. This stuff is happening at vacations. You know, anywhere you are, you know what I'm saying. These outbreaks can happen, and you gotta protect yourself at the end of the day, and be aware, you know, of your surroundings, so you won't become a victim in these heinous crimes or these mental health cases. You know what I'm saying? So I mean that's what I got on it, man. You know, I just know a lot of situations that happened in the past. You know, it was it was excessive force to de-escalate it, and you know, normally these people get put to sleep. Normally, when it's something like that. So that's about it, man. I'm gonna go watch me some of that SummerSlam. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you enjoy yourself. I'm about to go back in the lab. You know, it don't stop for me. I'm constantly right here.
We're gonna see if your boy can hold it down again tonight. Your boy Cena. We're gonna see what's going on.
Yeah, I ain't worried about it. But y'all have a blessed week. Shout out to everybody wherever you are watching from. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with us. This week is going to be another one. Another one. So make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, follow me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff, man.
And I got three bangers coming this week, coming down the line. So stay tuned. We got some more stories that just popped up on the surface, and we're gonna be bringing them your way.
That being said, man, y'all have a blessed one. Drive safe, and see y'all next week, Lord willing.
Proceed with caution. Micah, don't lead them boys.